we're still human, you know. But I am Beth here in Piland. I joined Mary Kay 21 years ago. I guess I'm gonna have to get up here. I like to get amongst people so I can see you. Gotta see you eyeballs to eyeballs. But I was a special ed teacher in Valdosta, Georgia. I taught children that were orthopedically impaired. My husband was a pastor. We have two daughters. At that time, I think one was in high school, one was like starting a freshman in college, something like that. I was 43. And I was 19 when I went to my own, one and only Mary Kay party in Atlanta. I came in late and I left early. And I used to blame myself. I thought, what if I had stayed and heard about the company and signed up then? Then like the girl that just retired, our national sales director, Cheryl Warfield, who made almost $10 million, she got in the company when she was 22, and she just retired, last January, Denise? And so her monthly income in retirement will be about $20,000 a month. A month? You know, earlier I told you my highest check in 1 month was $28,000. When I left teaching 19 years ago, that's what I made in a year. So you say, how do you get from that, you know, from making $28,000 a year to $28,000 in 1 month? I was hungry. I knew the good thing about 43 was I knew if we didn't do something different, that we were going to end up like the herd. Do you know what the herd is? 87%, if you don't hear anything else tonight, I want you to hear this. 87% of Americans are broke at the age of 65. This is not a third world country, this is America. Most of them can't even cash a $600 check if they want to or need to. A lot of those people have worked hard all their lives. They're good people. But you know what they did? They worked hard. They didn't get in the right lane. You're doing, you got to be in the right lane. You could be the greatest living. I could have been the greatest living school teacher ever, but I would have never become a multi-millionaire teaching school. And I knew that. And it wasn't that I didn't love kids. I loved the kids. I didn't like everything else that went with it, but I loved the kids. And also at 43, I felt like I was in jail. Because see, at the time I came into Mary Kay, I was teaching school full time. A pastor's wife, that's another job. Are any of y'all in the ministry in here? A pastor's wife is the second hardest working employee in the church, but she doesn't make a penny, right?
Amen.
And I know y'all think we're supposed to do it, but you know, we like money too. And I wanted to do it. Let me just say that. I wanted to do it. But I knew if something didn't change, that we would never live in our dream house. We would never travel. We couldn't give our daughters the weddings we always dreamed of getting them. They couldn't give cars. It's all that stuff. And you said, you're talking about material stuff. I sure am. I sure am. Because what woman doesn't want their family to have the extras in life? And I'll tell you something else. I used to love the summer because I could meet my husband for lunch. When I was teaching in school, you got 30 minutes, and half the time I was eating with the kids. You know, I really felt like I was in jail. Because as a special ed teacher, they had me in a little bitty room. One time I taught in a broom closet, literally. You know what I'm saying? I had one child that time, and they pulled him. I could back in, sit in a chair like that. We pulled the wheelchair right there to me, and that's how I taught. I have a picture of that years ago. If I could tell you anything tonight, I want to ask you this. If you keep doing what you're doing, where you work, are they going to pay you what you're worth? Yes. Are they going to pay you what they say you're worth? Right? Just don't even look at her. She works, they work with her husband. Or her at the company Diana. And so I started doing Mary Kay on the side. So I was teaching. I was pastor's wife. I was going to 2 weekends out of the month. I had to travel across the state to Vidalia, Georgia, where they had the onions. You ever heard of that? Yeah. To get a certification to keep my job, not to make any extra money. And then I had girls that were in everything they could join at Lowndes High School in Valdosta, Georgia. So when I was sitting here in a thing just like this, you know, they had jacked the right side of my face up too. And I thought, wow, this stuff is good. And they talked to us about the opportunity in Mary Kay. And I thought, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna do, what have I got to lose? My question to you tonight is, what have you got to lose? My deal was, I never thought it would really work, but I had prayed about it because the girl in school, one of the teachers in school was the one that had talked to me about Mary Kay. She sent out an email, and I answered it. And so I had thought about, I was looking for something else, and I thought, well, I'm going to try this. You know, I said, but I've tried other stuff and it hadn't worked. But anyway, I prayed about it. I felt like I was supposed to do it. I always tell everybody, I didn't feel like Jesus stood at the foot of my bed and said, Beth, do I wasn't that. I just had like a knowing, you know, like try it. Because I was hungry. I didn't want to end up like everybody else. I could not see myself teaching till I was 65 or 70. You understand? Raise your hand if you're under 30 in here. I'm high where I can see it. You know y'all probably never get to retire. Just want to give you all that. You know, and even people my age, you know, you probably gonna keep on working, and it's a good thing to work. God doesn't have any scripture in the Bible about retiring that I know about. He does say rest on the seventh day, you know, on the Sabbath. But anyway, so I started I tried Mary Kay, and I started doing what we call parties, gatherings, where you have, you know, anywhere from 3 to 7, 8 people, and women started buying cosmetics. And see, I didn't buy a lot of cosmetics. I told you this morning, I put on lipstick in the morning when I went to work, and if it was there at midnight, great. If it wasn't, oh well. I wasn't a foo-foo kind of girl, and you're sitting here and say, I don't even wear makeup. So what? You know, I'll do a lot of things for $100,000. Do y'all know we're the highest paid women in America? Did we already mention that? There are more women making over $100,000 a year out of Mary Kay more than any other corporation in America. We also have the largest fleet of cars in America. We're the largest fleet that General Motors has other than the U.S. Post Office. And last time I checked, people wouldn't stand in line to drive a postal truck. How many years, we call it driving free, have you driven free, Denise?
32.
32 years of no car payment. They pay most of our insurance, our car insurance. They buy the tag and pay the taxes. Do you know how much money? Have you ever thought about how much money you've saved over the years? What is it?
For both my children's college education.
The car money, not having to pay all that, paid for her boys' college education. Did they come out of school owing money for a school debt?
Not much.
I mean, that's what my
And
daughter.
what they did, we paid off.
Right. That's what I'm telling you. You know, I mean, even if you're young, not doing this enough not to have to pay your tuition. You know. So anyway, I'm getting off track here, but the thing that I want to say to you is when they were talking to me about Mary Kay, I dreamt of waking up when I wanted to wake up in the morning. I dreamt of meet my husband for lunch, or being free to travel when my mom got sick to be able to go. Had I still been a school teacher when my mom got sick, I wouldn't have been able to be with her in her last months of her life. But because of Mary Kay, I was with her about 2 weeks out of every month because she was really sick. And with that year, for the last 6 months of the year, she passed away like at the end of December. When I got my 1099 the next month, I'd had over $20,000 increase over the previous year. But I want to tell you the most exciting news. In 2011, I always felt like we were supposed to do the million. That means $1 million in one fiscal year. And we'd been doing half million. So we went to work and we did the million. We were, I think, number 8 in the United States. And I'm not telling you this to brag. I'm telling you that year I got an $84,000 raise in 1 year. How many of you got an $84,000 raise in 1 year? How many of you know somebody that's gotten an $84,000 raise in 1 year? See, in Mary Kay, we write our own checks. We decide what we're worth. The biggest check in Mary Kay's never been written. We have women that are making $1 million a year now in Mary Kay. And this is a 53-year-old company, a $4 billion company that's totally debt-free. We owe nobody anything. We're in about 37 international countries. So if you become a sales director, one of these women in the black suits, and for about a year, you can go build in South America. Brazil is one of our biggest markets. China, we can't go over there, but that's a huge market. And we just opened Colombia, and we're in Great Britain. There's tons of countries. I mean, makeup is big. What I was going to tell you, I never spent money on makeup. I didn't know that women bought $400 or $500 worth of makeup at one time. I didn't do that in 5 years. But you know what? When we sell it, we're not like the counter and make 4% or 2%. We make 50% of everything we sell. So the average party in Mary Kay is $300. We spend 2 hours, we make $150. You do that 3 and 4 times a week in 2 hours, you're replacing 40-hour-a-week jobs with 8 hours worth of work in Mary Kay, and that's exactly what happened to me. And after I had taught a year because I'd signed a contract, I said, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya, and I was gone. And I'm not trying to be a smart aleck, I'm just telling you, entrepreneurs are willing to take risks. And if you're not willing to take a risk, you're probably going to be in the herd, the 87%. And although Mary Kay's not a risk, but some people think it is. See, the world's got it backwards. They think if you've got a 9-to-5 job, you've got security because you got a paycheck coming in every week or every 2 weeks. But what you don't think, the other part of that, you could walk in one morning, they say, we sold the company and we don't need you anymore. Or we're downsizing, the government is going to downsize. Because this whole place is full of government jobs, right? Have y'all ever been downsized in Huntsville? Have they ever cut back? If somebody doesn't cut back, we're going to bust. Got quiet. But let me just tell you something. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. I can't tell you of the number of women that I've had that'll sign up, join this company, and 3 months later something's happened to their husband's job or their job. God already knew that it was coming, right? And he had prepared them. And so they could step it up and replace that income. I think the thing that amazes me the most is most of America lives from paycheck to paycheck. And when I talk to them about, and I've lived from paycheck to paycheck. I've lived where you couldn't pay all your bills this month. You could pay most of them, but you couldn't pay all of them. Then next month you'd pay the ones you couldn't have paid in September, you paid in October, and you had to let some others go. Anybody ever live like that? It's not fun. We have more month than money. But see, my husband and I have been willing to do other stuff. And I will tell you that there's 3 industries that never miss a beat. They do well all the time, but they do especially well when you have a downturn in the economy. See, if we have the interest rates go up, it affects a lot of businesses. Do y'all know that? The housing industry, real estate, all that kind of stuff. In Mary Kay, we do the happy dance. You know, I mean, we're not glad the economy's not good. But there's 3 things that never miss a beat. They do well all the time. In a downturn in economy, they even do better, and that's liquor, tobacco, and cosmetics. So in 2011, the economy wasn't too great. And so we're able to double. And that's when I got that raise. My Mary Kay business was never the same. It's increased every year is what I'm trying to say. But I could have said, I'm going to bust it at school, or I've sold insurance before, I've done all kind of things. I've, worked at Walmart, I've done all kind of different things. And I could be the greatest living whatever, but that doesn't mean I could have gotten a raise. Most people, if you go in and tell your boss you want their job, they'll find a way to get rid of you. Right? In Mary Kay, if one of my directors comes up and say, I want your job, I want to be a national, we celebrate. We're excited. Because the more she does, the more I get. There's 5 ways of income in Mary Kay. 50% commission on the products that we sell. As a consultant, you make 4 to 13% commission on what your team orders each month. We have the cars. First car, where's my car winner? There she is right there, the red Chevy Cruze. If she hadn't taken that car, she could have taken $375 a month. Is that right? Okay. But we like to drive Mary Kay cars because we can run the fire out of them. And then every 2 years we're getting a new car, right? Okay? And you go in the dealership, how many places did you have to sign?
They didn't give me any paperwork. They just gave me the keys.
Wow.
Just a copy of your driver's license.
If you ever do get cars through Mary Kay, then you have to go with your husband when he finances a car. He gets a car. It's like, what's taking so long? I mean, it's like you're there at the dealership for hours, right? Yeah. We just pick the keys up, have balloons, cake, and we roll out. I mean, you're spoiled. We're spoiled. Okay, so we've got the car, and then the next cars you win as sales directors, you can earn Ford Fusion, Chevy Equinox or a black BMW. And then the top sales directors, you saw them out in the parking lot, they drive the SRX Cadillacs. The mid-level, the Ford Fusion and Equinox, you can take $500 a month if you don't want to drive that. BMW is $650 a month. The SRX Cadillacs are $900 in a month. And then I drive the Escalade, that's what Nationals drive. And if we don't want to drive that, they'll give us $1,400 a month and we can drive what we want to. I'll be retiring in 2.5 years. And as a national sales director, we have one of the best retirement programs in the country. And when I retire, I can either take the new Escalade that I'm getting in the spring, they'll give me the title, or they'll give me about $35,000 cash. And then I make, I think, 65% of my last 5 years, the top 3. So what I'm trying to say to you is,
What do you get?
what do I get? What I'm trying to say to you is, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're gonna keep getting what you get.
Preach.
The only way to get something different is to do something different. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of, you think, I wonder if I would like to do that. Worst case scenario, you get tax deductions because it's a home-based business. You know what I'm saying? You get to have this fantastic product. It costs. You can make a little chicken change, as we say. You can do it 3 ways. First way is you can come in and be a pink peddler. We don't really recommend that, but if you got to, you got to. And that's it. You come in and sell to a few family and friends, and the commission off that enables you to get your makeup free, okay? You know, and just make a little bit a month, a couple $100. If you want to do it medium, that's $2,000 or $3,000 a month you're making on the side. You're working about 8 to 10 hours a week. And then if you want to go for the gusto and make $100,000 a year and drive a pink Cadillac, it's your choice. The cool thing is we're not going to pressure you. You tell us what we want, what you want, and we show you how to get it. Mary Kay Ash said most people plan their 2-week vacation. They spend more time planning that than they do where they're going to be professionally the next 5 years. And I know it to be the truth because I've asked people many hundreds of times, where do you see yourself professionally in 5 years? And most people say, you know, I really hadn't thought about it. Or I'm going to get my master's or something like that. You know, where do I see myself in 5 years? On a beach in Maui. Kidding. You know, but I'm just asking you, say to yourself, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Do y'all know if you, I'm not going to talk about retirement but the whole time, but let me say this to the young people. People are going to college, they're getting educations, and what's happening when they come out?
No jobs.
No jobs. No jobs. And I'm an educator, so I believe in education. But when people tell me, you know, I say, what's your major? And they'll say nursing, teaching. I want to say, I have a girl that we're about to recruit in Valdosta, Georgia, that's a waitress at Cheddar's that's bringing home $600 a week in tips, and she's wanting to go to nursing school. And I said, honey, she's 20 years old. I said, have they told you how much you're going to make when you finish nursing school? Because they didn't tell me how little I was going to make when I finished college with a teaching certificate. She said, no. I said, you're probably making more money now than you're going to make as a new nurse. And if you're God called to nursing, go get it. But if you're not, college education used to be the blanket answer, and I'm telling you, I live in a college town, Valdosta State University, or I did, and they're doing just what they did in college. They're waiting tables, or they're working at the mall. You know, find out what's going on. But I will tell you this, as long as little girls are being born, there's going to be a room to sell makeup. And we have the best selling makeup in the direct selling industry. We're #1.
Yeah.
It's $100 to get started in Mary Kay. For that, you get about $450 worth of product in there. This month, this is the month to do it, girls and boys, because they have added a full set of microdermabrasion, so that's going to kick it up to a little over $500 worth of product for a $100 investment. With tax and shipping, what do y'all pay around here? And then this is the set of microdermabrasion that you're getting. And tonight, I think we got even something else, right? What is it? What's the bonus?
Well, if there's 10 women that get started tonight, we're gonna give away a free brand new.
Oh, here's the thing. This is the bag. It comes in. I got some people just to sign Mary Kay just to get the bag. You know, we women, we cray about bags. Oh yeah, that's all the stuff you get in there. Just show them that, Dana. There you go. Okay, so here's my question to you. If in your wildest dreams you ever decided to do Mary Kay, why would you do it? Guess, just shout out something. Money. 90% of the women that sign up Mary Kay, it's for money.
Meet new people.
Meet new people, okay. Recognition. Yeah, Hey, you might That's right. So that night, and I said, well, you know, I was sitting around the house, I think I want to do it. And she said, okay, that's great. I said, I got one problem. I ain't got $100. And she looked at me and she said, do you always want to be where you can't write a $100 check if you needed to or wanted to? And I can still feel the lights going off in my head. I said, no, I don't. Back then we wrote more checks, you know, we don't write checks anymore. And I put the check in there and I said, I get paid in a couple of days. I've dated the check and I said, run it then. And that's what I did. So I'm saying to you tonight, if you got a debit card, whatever, credit card, and we need to run it on your payday, do that. We get it. But what I want to know now is I want to know if you may not even do it right tonight, but if you would ever consider doing Mary Kay and you're a guest, raise your hand. Don't be chickens.
Keep it up, girl. Keep it up.
Stand up. Get your hands down. Woman, just stand up. We're not going to make you pay. Stand up.
It's an altar call.
Okay, there was more hands than
It's
that.
a scare. I'm not trying to be ugly, but it's people that are scaredy cats that end up being in the herd. Now I'm going to ask this question again. How many of you would consider doing, maybe not right now, but sometime in the future, stand to your feet?
Stand up. Oh, okay. Yeah, Blondie.
Where's Jessica? Jessica, tell them how old you were when you signed up Mary Kay.
18.
Right. You've been a director how many years? 15. So you're never too young, just to kind of get up and go. If you, and the ones of you, how many of you are ready to sign tonight, post date a check, run your debit card, whatever? How many of you are ready to do that tonight? Because we got a signing bonus for you.
Oh, by the way, I actually have a brand new starter kit not opened in my car, so
Okay.
somebody may get to take that one home with them tonight. You know, the fans that get started early, you know.
What is the signing bonus?
I thought when we had some girls.
When we have 10 people. When 10 people sign up, we're going to draw one of the agreements and you're going to get yours free.
Wow.
All right, directors, I'm done. I'm going to tell you something. When you walk out that door tonight, if you hadn't changed anything, nothing changes. You're still going to be drawing the same money every week or every other week. You know, we can teach you how to do this. You've got women in this room that have driven Cadillacs and free for years. This woman right here has earned 7 free trips. This woman right here is about to be a national sales director in Mary Kay. We know what we're doing. So what I would say to you, by the way, I don't make a penny off of anybody in this room. So I can be real, and I never will make a penny off of it. I'm here because I love their guts. Okay? This is the agreement you fill out. So how many of you directors, you want to get up and go pass out agreements? And if you'll fill these out, if we have 10, somebody's going to get theirs for free.